Good evening, everyone. My name is Tyrell Stevens. Today is the special meeting for the Providence School Board. It is 11/19/25, 6 p.m. Glad to welcome everybody here. I am going to call the roll call. Clerk, please call the roll.
Tyrell Stevens.
Present.
Nike Mahoney.
Present.
Melissa Hughes.
Present.
Michelle Fox.
Present.
Corey Jones.
Present.
Mireya Mendoza.
Present.
Jenny Mercado.
Present.
Heidi Silverio.
Present.
Angel Newman. Stephen Williamson.
Present.
Thank you so much. I would like to entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion.
Motion's been made by Chairman Mahabu. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second's been made by Secretary Fonz. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Motion passes. I would like to move over to items 3.0, public comment, right to be heard. I'm going to turn it over to the Madam Clerk.
Lindsay Piper.
How you doing, Lindsay?
Oh, you know.
That's
It's a long
good.
day.
Yes, ma'am. You have 3 minutes.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay. All right. Hi, everybody. Can you all hear me in the back? Good? Yeah. My name is Lindsay Piper. Use she, her pronouns. You know me. I teach third grade at Webster Elementary. You want me to try mine? It won't. Yeah. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. You got it? Okay. Thank you, Martha. So I wanted to thank you guys for the listening tour. And thank you for coming to Webster. I think that was really helpful for us. And for putting together the draft goals. And I think the vision statement is like really on point. I appreciate the language in it. I think the wording is great. I did want to say, I think for the goals, it would be nice if we could look into including something on like social emotional well-being and mental health of students, because I feel like that came up a lot. And I think that that's really a huge challenge in a lot of the classrooms and schools. And as I've said a lot of times before, and as the research shows, I feel like we're not going to see the academic gains that we want until we're supporting students in that way as well. For the guardrail piece, I think I have like a suggestion about a way to reframe it. I wonder if we could flip it to be positive language. So instead of saying the superintendent shall not allow learning environments or policies where students feel unsafe or unsupported, I wonder if we could flip it to kind of be like the superintendent shall cultivate learning environments where students feel safe and supported physically, emotionally, and culturally. I think we can take each of those and kind of flip them into the positive, and then it would feel, I think it might read differently. That's just a suggestion. I do think I'm a little concerned about guardrail 1, mostly because I work in a school that's under CSI, and I just am curious about what kind of performance standards, like what will be used to determine if teachers are not meeting performance standards. So will it be like evaluations? Will it be student test scores? Will there be other student data that's going to be analyzed? So just a little more, I'm sure this will come out, but just a little more information about that, because I'm thinking about myself, like, I started the school year with 13 kids on a kindergarten reading level out of 26, and I'm pretty good, but I don't know. We're closing it. We're closing the gap already, but I think just thinking about what it looks like when we have so much academic need coming into a space, what does teacher effectiveness look like? And I'm hoping that that's going to be focused on growth and how we can accelerate students and thinking about that and not just about proficiency. Since there will be classrooms with, some multilingual learners or students who are newcomers. So just thinking about that equity piece, because a lot of that contributes to the CSI status when we're thinking about teachers. And I'm also wondering about admin on the other side of that, like what are we going to use, and will that data be public, and will we know like which admin are meeting performance standards and not? Because that's something that I think will be helpful. But thank you all for your time, and I'm glad that you're having this space to kind of bring us back together.
County Rockwell.
How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
At 3 minutes.
Good. Good afternoon. My name is Keely Rockwell, and I'm a social studies teacher at Hope High School. I'm also here to give comment on the recently released results from the listening sessions. I also want to thank you all for doing the listening sessions. I think it was a great opportunity for a lot of folks to have a say in how our schools are run. As a civics teacher, I really appreciate the civics goal. I think that is super important and is often left out in our conversations about what students are able to achieve in high school, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that will be measured. I also have concerns about guardrail number 1. I have concerns about this guardrail for 2 main reasons. The first being the ambiguity of the term performance standards, and the second being the implications such a guardrail could have on the long-term retention of teachers and administrators. Both of these concerns, I think, can be highlighted by the execution of the first redesign plans that happened 2 years ago during the redesign of 2023-2024, I think was when the first redesign school started. When our first schools entered the redesign process that year, the district entered into an MOA with the PT members at each redesign school. This MOA allowed redesign principals to displace any educator they believe were unfit for the redesign process. But what unfit meant was never defined. So principals displaced teachers without any kind of standards. And I'm concerned that that's what's going to happen again under guardrail number 1, that we won't know the reasons why teachers are being displaced, and administrators as well, because we see admin turnover and admin being moved from place to place a lot in the district. I can't speak to the experiences of educators who are victims of this MOA because I was not teaching at a redesign school at this time, but I can speak to the experience of being displaced. During that same school year, I was displaced from 360 High School after it was unjustly closed. And when I started at Hope the following school year, I felt like I was starting over. It takes a long time to get used to a new school. I had to learn new systems and new students and new coworkers, and just now am I starting to feel comfortable in myself as a leader in the school. When we displace teachers and administrators, we disrupt the school buildings. We know that teacher turnover negatively affects student outcomes, and yet this guardrail is actively encouraging it. And while some may argue that it's obvious, people not meeting these standards should be subject to removal, we also know that change takes time. Thank you. Hope is in the 3rd year, I believe, of its redesign process. It's going really well. I think it's really cool, the progress that we've made. And we're nowhere near being done. And I think it'd be unfair to measure any of us at this point in time on performance standards. There's still so much work that has to be done. And so I'm concerned about what this means for school buildings if we're displacing people without giving them the opportunity to grow. So, thank you.
Thank you. Woman Mikado, can you move your microphone to the desk for me, to the table like that? Get the microphone here. Can you move it over to the desk for me?
Oh, like
Yes, ma'am. It's okay. 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 Madam Clerk.
Abby Mellinger. Abby Mellinger.
All right, thank you, Madam Clerk. We are going to move over to items 4.1, homeschool. Is Mark here? Hey, Mark. How are you? Just state your name for the record.
Sure, Mark Catone. Mark Catone. Tonight we present to you our homeschool candidates for the month of November. They have met the requirements based on Rhode Island General Law for homeschool students, and they've also met the requirements of our school department policy. So I present those to you this evening.
Thank you, Mark. Mark, can you get me just the number of students that were homeschooling, just the number of it?
For this,
Total?
for this present
Yes, sir.
school year, yeah, I'll get that to you
Thank
tomorrow.
you so much.
Yep, absolutely.
Do I have a motion to approve items 4.1, review of homeschool candidates?
Motion.
Thank you. Motion's been made by Dr. Williamson. Do I have a second? Second's been made by Chairman Mahaple. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Any noes, any abstentions? The motion passes. Thank you. We're going to move over to items 4.2. I would love to call up Attorney Rappaport to give a quick overview of items 4.2 before it enters into a final read and adoption. Attorney Rappaport?
Sure.
We have another person who signed up to speak.
I signed up, I emailed, I emailed at 3 for public comment, I apologize.
Come to the front really quick.
Sorry to interrupt.
What is your name?
Rebecca Wilner, I emailed, oh, okay, I can show you if you want to see it.
It's okay. You can
Okay.
come up. You have 3 minutes, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Just state your name for the record for me.
Yeah, Rebecca Wilner.
Thank you.
Okay.
Use that one. Click the button. There we go.
Oh, hello. Oh, wow. Okay, amazing. Hi. Okay, sorry about that. I'll email way earlier next time. So my name is Rebecca Wilner. I'm a 13-year English teacher. The last 4 at Hope. I was actually a student teacher at Hope through the Brown MAT program in 2015. And I always wanted to work at Hope, but there were no jobs because there was such an abundance of teachers who wanted to stay and work in this district at that time. First of all, I want to say that I love my job and I love Hope. I participated in fellowships statewide, many different types of schools, trained teachers, work with policymakers, and I can say unequivocally that my colleagues at Hope reflect the best of teaching and learning in the state. I've never been to a place that has so many talented educators committed to equity with decades of expertise, and this is special. This is what has enabled Hope to make gains on the SATs and access, despite the fact that we have larger populations of MLLs and students with IEPs than comparable schools. I say that not to diminish our students, but to point out that we are being evaluated within a system that is already stacked against us, most importantly against our students who live in a society that demonstrates daily disregard, not only for their education, but also for their humanity. So I want to say, if we say that we are guided by empathy and justice, I implore you to extend that to the teachers who are the ones on the ground doing the work. And the first guardrail, not having to do with, undoing years of inequity at a structural level, but focusing on teachers is very frustrating. The language and placement implies that the most significant obstacle to students' learning is in fact the teachers in front of them. And I have to believe that that was not intentional, because if so, it's hard to work here or continue to have student teachers and mentees as I do. So as a teacher, we're told constantly to solve the problems of poverty, discrimination, racism, political failures, etc. Told to do what many cannot do and what they won't try to, but that means they can blame us if the scores don't translate. I don't think that a single person goes into teaching to be a bad teacher. I think that our teachers are overwhelmed, lost, discouraged, and need of support. And I think we need to take that into consideration with guardrail number 1 in particular. I tell my students that it's not what we say, it's what we do. Sure, I can say I care about them, but I have to show them every day. If this body wants to use words like empathy, justice, and community then that should be demonstrable through the work. These should be places that model rather than dictate. So what guardrails like this make me question, are we interested in community-based justice? Are we invested in the possibility and potential of helping each other grow? Are we interested in learning and understanding and being honest and direct about the burdens we face? So basically, are we just looking for someone to blame? So I ask, how can we talk about empathy and justice and the implication of firing teachers in the same breath? So if we're going to use those terms, I believe that we have to invest in all members of our community. An empathetic, justice-oriented community does not discard people or value its members based on metrics that reflect mostly poverty and racism. And that's it.
Thank you. We will move back to item 4.2, Attorney Rappaport.
Hi, Charlie, and members of the school board. Not sure what level of detail, but these represent the amended bylaws that the ad hoc committee has been working on for about a month and a half. And there was a request by Member Hughes for a red line, which I didn't have available. And I think part of the reason that I didn't is that there's been so much redlining and changing over the process of meeting that it just wasn't feasible to give you a redline document. It would be almost very challenging to read. So I think this represents a good, strong collective effort, and it is legally compliant. I've been in conversations with the president over various aspects of it, but I think it's good to go. So if you have questions of me that are legally grounded, I'm happy to answer them. Otherwise, I think the members of the committee can speak to why various changes were made.
Really quick, Sarah, on page 4, the second paragraph. So as some people will see, there's a couple of committees that have been, well, one committee in particular that's been added. It's called the Student Safety and Behavioral Health Committee. That committee is required by state law, so for school committees to adopt. So we had added that into the bylaws. But on the second paragraph, Dr. Williamson had flagged this to me. It says by a certain date. So if you just go down just a little bit, it says by a certain date called deliverable. Can we shift that to by, oh, it's called by a date certain. Can we switch that to by a certain date
So,
on page 2?
on page 2 or 4?
This 4, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Page 4, and this was the back end of the first sentence. Yeah, the first sentence though for the second paragraph.
So you want it to be by
By a certain date.
sure.
And then it says on the third paragraph that the president may establish select committees. Can we switch that back? And this is pending approval by the board to special committees instead of select committees. Any questions by board members? Chairwoman Severio?
And this is probably, I'm just curious. Is there a reason why we don't have anything about conduct and forum about school board members? I know we have some for like people who are public comment, but don't see anything specific about this.
Really good question. That was actually in the bylaws. With the board, with the committee advises is that we punt it over to the policy committee. So you could adopt a policy pertaining to that. So it can be more in detail. What it did was in the bylaws is more of like a governing principle. Not really supposed to go into details about things. So we wanted to punt that over to the policy committee to develop a policy on conduct for the board. Am I correct?
Yes, so there were a number of proposals by the Council of Great City Schools to include language in the bylaws that would generally be described as rules and guidance on how certain relationships will be carried out. So there was a proposal to have a section that described board relationships, how to govern internally, how to negotiate relationships within the board membership. It's I. That's why I'm laughing.
Hughes.
Aye.
Jones.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you so much.
Ms. Monson.
How are you?
Okay.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm listening.
John.
Okay. So I'm just gonna.
Yeah.
Hey, Craig.
This is the same thing that Ford does.
Yeah, no worries. Do you want a hand? Mark? Going right in the closet behind Charlie here.
Did you end it
No, I just refreshed it. It just X out of it.
and stream? All right, now we can do